Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my Jaybird. And this is game 76 of Battle of the Boxes. Remembering 1976 and the 1977 to bot 1900. No errors, no assistance, no help of any kind to beat this bot. And we're taking you back to 1977. Let's check this one out. It's similar to how I played back then with my theory. I try to change things up in my theory as I'm going here too at the same time, but let's check it out. E3, I'm in white. F6, H3, E5, B3, D5, B2, D6, D3, D4, pass E4, uh, D7, D2, C6, knight's waiting right there. I didn't bring up the night bird because obviously, look, he's trying to castle this way and see the waiting, the knights to see what he castles. And sometimes I just move the knight one direction or another just to wait to see if he is going to castle. That's the whole intent on that, like on the 88 even. Or it could be brought back out or used or not. After E2, castle, C1, B8, A4, E7, knight up, A2. And this is how I move my pieces in the back ranks. There was games like this, and Jay would come up and mention, "Oh, look how you're moving your pieces around like this." And like I said, mentioned before, this is just another different kind of way how you can move your pieces in the back like this. And back then too, not just even now, but back then, and similar games of this sort somehow, but not in this order or this fashion, but basically doing the same thing. After A2, E8, C4, E6. Now I bring it back because I see this. I guess if he would have said check, I would have just brought this here quick. If he would have went up with the queen here, and then maybe going to Donna's bird, castle, run the rook over. You see what I'm saying? I think that's probably what I would have done, but let's see what happens. He goes H6. I go up D2, H5, into the J bird since 1977. Them two bishops there was my first creative opening that I made and my very first game with this opening. I won back in 1977. Now, on with it. After E2, G6, B4, A5, takes A5, he goes C5, A6. I always keep the pressure. I'm not sure if that was a good move or not. I guess we'll see what happens, but I guess you don't want to open this lane. This knight's here, then it'd be permanently, this knight's a monster knight right here. If he takes that, he can never push this knight out. He'll have to take a piece, use a knight or a bishop to get it out. After A6, C8. Nope, you take it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Take B7. Takes B7. Check. B1. A8. Now you need some breathing room. That's called getting some breathing room. Get the pawn down there. Keep the pressure. After A5, he goes A6. It's like, uh-oh. I could have just left it there. He takes, I take, and I put my bishop here. See, this is another thing. I keep forgetting about this one move here where this bishop goes here like this in this certain situations. But I went crazy. I figured check, he's going to take, I take, and I open up the lane here that's what I did. After A6, B6, check. He takes B6, I take B6. B7, I move up to B4. He takes B4, I take B4. He takes B4, I take B4. He takes B6. I slide down. Keep the threat going here. There's nothing down here you can quick do. If I can get this castle in quick after a3, he goes c8. I castle. He goes c3. I go a2. I still won't. He was better off taking the pawn, I guess. Threaten a bishop. I probably would have gave up the bishop too, but let's go on after a2. He goes c4. Of course, you just take it now. It don't matter now. Take c4. e4. Takes. Pin is king. b1. E6. Takes b6. Takes b6. b1. Takes b1. Takes b1. c7. f3. d6. d5. e4. a2. d8. a5. c8. c5. d7. d4. a3. Takes f7. a2. Takes g6. Takes c2. c5. c6. Check d6. b5. Check e8. b4. c6. b3. c7. b2. c6. e3. Takes e3. c3. Put the bishop so that I get the queen in. c8. c1. h2. c3. b7. c1. f3. d7. Takes d3. Game's over. It just throws in h4. And that's game. I got a little creative on this one. And that it was short-lived though. In 77, this, or whenever I stopped 78, I can't. I forget when. I know it started in 76, 77. I believe it was 78 yet. I'm not sure after 78 what if we were in the 79, but once I didn't see Jay no more, I only played since that point a couple games, like 20 years later, and then in between then and then 2010, I played that, like, it was no more than a year, and I beat D Fritz 8, memorized 23 continuation moves with my Jaybird, with this Jaybird here, and he opened up. He came down here. I'll have to play Deep Fritz 8 in a 2-minute blitz and see if I can get it back. But I need assistance again. I can't. I don't even remember how it went. And I'll explain how it happened. And if it does a similar same thing. But this game goes on like this. And like I said, I'm much better than I am today than I was back then. But I was still playing, and Jay Bird was only at 1,300, and I finally started beating him, and that's the end of that, and that's what happened. Then at the end of me and him, he was saying, I remember he was saying, "Well, I'm 1,300 now. We're about even." I said, "Our games are about tie." He says, "No." I said, "What do you mean? You said you're 1,300." "No, I'm not 1,300. I said, "Well," then I go, "Well, you're 12, right?" No. I said, "What?" I said, "You're 11, right?" He goes, "No, yeah, I'm at least that." I said, "No, come on." He started changing his thing, and I couldn't understand why he was acting strange about the whole thing, and my opening and everything. It just, things got weird at the end between me and him, but there you have it. Okay, thanks for stopping by, and we're going to have some more Battle of the Boxes.